Thank you so much for joining us for today's edition of HR Mentorship Learning Series. My name is Oluyemi Adeosun. Tonight, we'll be looking at the topic, Conquering Career Ceilings, Applying David's Strategy for Success. Our facilitator is our regular, one of our proud members, always providing support multiple ways, Tochukwu Emeka Ume. I would like to read very briefly an excerpt from his profile. Tochukwu is a dynamic human resource professional and a learning and development leader who, with over 8 years of impactful experience, helping individuals and organizations to grow, transform, and achieve excellence. He currently serves as the delegation learning and development responsible with the International Committee for the Red Cross in Abuja, where he designs and leads strategic learning initiatives that empower people to perform at their best and progress in their career. He's driven by a passion for human potential. Tochukwu has devoted his career to helping professionals at all levels, from entry to executive. He helps to build the skills, mindset, and resilience needed to thrive in today's ever-changing world of work. His approach blends practical HR expertise with a deep understanding of human behavior, leadership, lifelong learning. He holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from the prestigious University of Maiduguri and a master's degree in business administration from the American University of Nigeria, alongside other professional certifications from the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, Nigerian Institute of Training and Development, and the Nigerian Institute of Management. Through his sessions, Tochukwu challenges professionals to think deep, grow intentionally, and also lead courageously, helping them break through limitations, rise with purpose, and of course, leave lasting impact everywhere. Speaking to us tonight on the topic, Breaking Career Ceiling, let's welcome Tochukwu Emeka Ume. You have the floor, my brother.
Okay, thank you so very much, Doctor. I appreciate. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here sharing and discussing with HR professionals across the globe. So it's a privilege which I do not take for granted. So thank you for the opportunity once again. So just very quickly, we're going to be in the next 40 minutes to or 50 thereabouts, discussing this topic, and I categorize them in these subtopics to look at, what do we mean by career ceilings? Then we want to mirror the life of David and how his life translates into our different career stages. Then I will introduce to you a very important and strategic tool that I developed, and I call it the David Framework. And after that, we'll try to map this tool to different career stages, look at how it is relevant to different career or different career stages wherever you may find yourself. And then I'll give you practical tips on how you can apply this framework to your specific situation. Then we'll summarize and have some moments to reflect, conclude, and have basic discussions to drive home the topic. So this would be generally what we'll be doing in the next 40 minutes or thereabout. So I hope that you will stay until the end, because it doesn't make sense if you just start with us and you don't finish. It automatically means you miss very important points, most especially at the point of reflection and discussion. It is very critical. Before I go further, I would just like to have a little feel of the composition of people who are presently here tonight. I put on the charts, just to get the level, your current level in career journey so far. So how long have you been building your career journey? Is it 0 to 5 years? Is it between 6 to 15 years, or between maybe 15 years and above? Okay, so we have option 2, between 6 to 15. Okay, can I have some more feedback? Maybe 1 or 2 persons. Okay, option 3, yeah. Okay, option 1. Okay, so that gives us the feel that we have at least every different category in this call tonight. And our conversation basically will, spill through everyone, irrespective of the career stage you currently find yourself. One thing we know is that career ceiling is one of the most, if I would say in the world, one of the most, what do you call that, inclusive phenomenon. It does not exclude anyone, irrespective of the career level where you find yourself. You realize that you have some kind of career ceilings that you must overcome. And that, drives home the relevance of our conversation tonight. So having said that, I would like to let you see very quickly what you stand to gain in this conversation. First is to help you gain clarity exactly where you are at your career journey and maybe what is holding you back. Some of us have not been able to even identify what exactly is our career ceiling, so we'll be looking at that concept. And then we are going to be sharing some strategic roadmap using David's lifestyle as a pillar to guide us on how to navigate. And then I hope that you will get inspired, get renewed motivation to pursue life with courage, with resilience and purpose, just like our case study, which is David. And you will gain some practical tools, which is the David framework, that will help you to understand how to navigate, within the professional context or whatever career ceiling you may find yourself at the moment. And more importantly, which is the part I want everyone to learn, is a mindset shift, shifting your mindset from me to us, from now to a legacy. So we hope that these are the things that you will gain and more from the conversations we are going to have in the next 30 minutes or so. Having said that, what then is career ceiling? I just want to put out there that a career ceiling is that invisible limit that professionals hit within their current skills, and where you reach the point where you reach and you realize that your career, your network, your visibility, your mindset, the tools you have, what brought you this far is no longer enough to take you even further. So you have career conquest to conquer, but then you feel like you are not able to make progress, regardless of your years of experience, regardless of the hard work you've put in. For early career professionals, like we have some of us on the call, it is basically one of the major career ceilings you'll face is that struggle to be seen and trusted. People don't basically know you. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you represent and all that. So they don't even trust you. Even if you want to give them your labor for free, some people would still not give it to you because they cannot vouch whether you can or cannot do it. And then for mid-career professionals, one of the most career ceilings you see is that tension between competence and influence. Where am do I have enough competence, to hold my ground? And do I even have enough influence for people to, canvas for me and give me what I deserve? So this is one area where we see mid-career professionals struggle quite a lot. And then for experienced professionals, one of the areas we see them struggle quite a lot is, how do I leave legacy? What exactly do I do? How do I ensure that this hard work I have done over the years does not just vanish immediately I'm out of the game? How do I ensure that my legacy is sustained? My hard work over the years, my insights and everything I've shared, the tools I've developed, how do I ensure that it is sustained? So this is one of the biggest challenges that we see experienced professionals also face. Now, a career ceiling is not a wall that should stop you. It is only a mirror showing you what you must change for you to rise above where you currently are. If you see a career ceiling as just, a block that is stopping you moving forward, then tonight pay close attention so that we can help you see it differently and convert it to a mirror that will show you what you must do to get to the next level where you need to be. Every one of us, irrespective of the level where we find ourselves, whether you're just starting out your career, whether you are at the mid-level or you are about, one of the most experienced persons in the room, everyone eventually hits a career ceiling. But the career ceiling is not the issue. The issue is the strategy, how we know or what we know on how to overcome this career ceiling. It is only those who learn, who reinvent and realign themselves are those that are able to rise beyond career ceilings. Now, I will tell you a little bit of story about our case study. Our case study is Mr. David Jesse. I guess not many of us know him, know his surname to be Jesse, right? And is a character from the Christian faith, which is the Bible that we heard, okay, from the story of the Bible of David, who was a son of a man called Jesse, and he was basically the youngest son in the family. Then he was the one taking care of the father's sheep. And within that period, a lot of things happened in his life. But the long story short is that this young boy who began life as a shepherd boy, taking care of his father's flock, eventually became the king of his country and ruled, majestically, fought a lot of battles in his life and conquered almost all the battles that he ever, engaged in. He never lost one. And it was recorded for him that he ruled with justice and fairness. He left legacy. He faced challenges. He overcame them. I will not tell you everything about him now, but as we progress for every stages, I will bring out at least 1 or 2 points about him that is relevant for the conversation, and I'll shed a bit more light on that. But the top and down story of it, or in terms of summary of his life, is for us to see that for every one of us, irrespective of our trajectory in our career journey, everyone has similar story like David. There is that phase in your life where you are trying to build mastery, with humility, where no one knows you, no one is watching, you are basically nobody. Okay, that is that shepherd phase of our case study. And then there is the warrior phase where there is opposition everywhere. You have now begun to show your competence. However, people are beginning to see you as a competition. Someone is already planning on how to move you out of the way. Someone wants to, take you out of the game because they see you as opposition. Okay, and you face a lot of challenges fighting to ensure and maintain your credibility and all of that. Everyone faces that, and that is the warrior phase of life. And then there is a fugitive phase where it seems as if you're going into oblivion, right? The challenges, the politics, and all the challenges around seems to be taking its toll on an individual. That point where you are almost at your break-even point, like you're almost at your break points. That's where the mental stress and everything sets in. You are not sure you want to resign from where you're working. You want to give up in life and all those things. Everyone faces that. And that is the fugitive phase of life. And then the final phase for tonight would be the king phase, where you have been able to overcome some of these challenges. And then you are leading people, shaping culture, and multiplying impact. We saw all of this play out in the life of our case study, which is David Jesse. And it happens almost in everybody's life. Depending on where you are currently in your lifetime, you would be either maybe at the shepherd phase, warrior phase, fugitive phase, or perhaps the king phase. But whichever where you are, there is something for us to learn together, even in this conversation. It must be known that before David ever, became the king, he carried a sling. There was a time where he was nobody. There was a time where he had to prove himself. But then there was a time where he had to relax and enjoy, all the hard work that he has put in over the years. Each phase or each stage prepares you for the next, but that is only if you grow through it. If you just move or just experience it and don't pick the salient points, you eventually lose out of life. And I hope that will not be what we will achieve. We want everyone to be able to take note of every stage that you are in and think deeply to see, what do I learn from it? What do I glean from it? And how do I use it to pivot to the next stage of my life? Having mentioned that, ladies and gentlemen, I introduced to you the David framework. David's rise was not a luck. It was strategy, discipline, and divine alignment. This strategy is what I translate to the David framework. And I'm going to show you in the next slide how this framework is broken down and how it applies to you specifically, irrespective of where you may find yourself today. Each pillar reflects a corresponding strategy on how modern professionals can translate into actionable career principles that can be applied to basically help you overcome the current career stagnation that you may have, help you to grow strategically, and lead with impact. Now, this framework is not just any tool, but it is something that will help you to conquer the limitation you're facing in your career stage currently and give you a roadmap to move, from where you are to the next level of your life that will help you to enjoy, the benefits of your hard work. Having said that, this is a David framework. David here basically is looking at a case study that I adopted for today's conversation, which is David, and each of these pillars represents something that of his name. I broke them down to represent something that we can easily, apply and translate to our life. The first D stands for to develop mastery. Then the A stands for act visibly. V stands for venture resiliently. I stands for invest in influence. And D stands for design legacy. I'm going to be taking us through each and every one of these pillars of the David framework, one after the other. And in each, I will tell you a relatable story about our key character. After that, I'll also tell you one of the things you are expected to do, at least one action point, or that you should do for each of this framework in case, you are going to apply this. Then I will show you how to apply this framework in your current stage of career and to overcome the limitation that you may be facing at the moment. Having said that, to the first one, which is to develop mastery, it simply relates to build repeatable, demonstrable competence so that your work becomes undeniable evidence of value. Now, David, before he ever got the crown, he was not just, he didn't just come to become a king suddenly. He had a trajectory, he had a record. He was firstly a shepherd boy. While doing his shepherd work, he knew how to play on the harp. The harp basically is a musical instrument. In our modern day time, maybe something like a guitar. Okay, he could play on that instrument very well. He has been able to develop his skill in playing that instrument. Again, we could see that he learns carefully how to use the sling. In our current time now would be something like a catapult. Okay, he has been able to master how to use the sling effectively, maybe defending his flock every time he goes out to shepherd them. Right? So these were the skills that David has been able to master over time. And we're going to see that if it applies even in everyone's life, there is that time where you're growing up, for example, like for me, growing up with my parents, I had my mom who was a trader at the time. I was always with her in her business, helping to do one or two things in the shop, sometimes helping to sell, attend to customers. All this time, many of us have similar kind of stories where we've been able to, over time, develop competencies, develop skills, develop, those abilities. But oftentimes, we do not pay attention to that season. We thought, for example, that we're just doing those things, helping our parents. But we are actually developing and helping our own lives at that point in time. For early career professionals, I always would tell them, those things you did in your mother's shop, Mr. and Mrs. Okeke or Okafor's, what do you call, provision store. That thing you did there was not just all for show. You have learned a critical skill that you can leverage upon to, advance your career. For David, that was the same thing. He was doing that, not knowing that what he was doing there in oblivion was going to be what will put him at the limelight of his career. Okay, his excellence in shepherding music and battle wasn't for show. It was preparation. That period was his preparation period. Maybe he did not even know it, but in that period, he was being prepared for what was going to come in the next season of his life. As a shepherd, at some point in time, he had a lion attack his herd, and he had to defend the herd. He made sure he killed the lion. According to his testimony, he said that he also at some point in time had a bear come to attack his flock, and he was able to attack the bear, kill them, and preserve his flock from being destroyed. Those were critical skills that he learned, not knowing, thinking that I'm just doing a regular day's job. But that role trained his focus, his skill, and his decision making. In fact, his precision was, sharpened in those seasons of oblivion. And those unseen years built mastery that helped him in public success. Now, his reputation for skill brought him before King Saul. How did he get to the king's palace? Just because he could play the harp. He could make good music. And that music alone was what somebody saw somewhere. And when the king needed somebody to play music for him, they said, oh, we know a young man, a very young man that is very skilled in playing this music. And if he plays it for you, you will love it. And the king was, oh, a very young man that can play. Can I meet this person? Indeed, he was brought before the king. And yes, he played. And the king testified, yes, I love his music. Keep him with me. Go and tell his father, I want him to be in the palace with me, playing this music for me for a very long time. And this, what brought him to the palace was not even, the battle that he fought. It was actually the music that he could make. For many of us, we have skills that could take us to the palace, but oftentimes we are not known. Nobody knows what we're doing. So what do you do? What are the key behaviors that people in this level, or if you want to, use this tool, what key behaviors should you practice? One is practice your core craft daily. Don't ignore that thing you're doing. In case you are at the, level where no one is seeing you, what is that career skill, that knowledge, that ability you have? You need to sharpen it daily. I remember when I was learning on Microsoft Excel, I didn't know it was something relevant. For me, I just loved the fact that I will have to do calculation without punching the calculator. So that was interesting to me when I learned how to use Excel, and I began to try to use it to do a whole lot of things. Eventually, one of those days I was working many years ago as a computer operator. Someone brought a very big spreadsheet and they were like, oh, nobody could do this job. It was there, as at the time, it was thousands of naira for my boss, and nobody could do that job in the office at the time. And the customer was about to leave. And when I asked, and this is just Microsoft Excel, I'm like, okay, I've learned this thing over time. Can I give it a try? They were like, okay, yeah, just try. Let's see if you can do it. Then I did the first batch of the work, and the customer was amazed, and she was like, oh, wow, this is excellent. I'll bring some more. And that was how my boss, I remember him giving me, tips that day. They treated me like a king and all that. And the next thing I had to do was to train other colleagues on how to use Excel spreadsheets. I couldn't teach them everything on Excel, but at least I was able to show them what to do to deliver on that task. So we're able to spread the job across, and we delivered on that task successfully. The business was happy, we were happy, and that for me was the eye opener. Oh my God. So Microsoft Excel was actually going to solve real practical problems in life I never knew. So that was when I began to pay more attention, and daily I watched videos on YouTube, kept refining the skill. Today, it goes without saying, everywhere I go, and especially for people that know me professionally, they know that when it comes to Microsoft Excel, I love it. Like any day, wake me up in the middle of the night, give me an Excel problem. If I don't know how to solve it, I will die trying. Okay, so practice your skill daily. Set measurable milestones. Oh, this is what I want to achieve. This is what I should be able to do. This is what I should be able to do. And more importantly, keep a win log. I was talking to a mentor of mine a couple of years ago, and I told her, as you got this job, every time you did something remarkable and your boss is happy, don't just let it go. Make a record of it. Take your notebook somewhere, write it down. I did A, B, C, D. Keep that record. It is going to be your success story for the next job. Because when you go to the next interview, it is important that you look at those things and see, oh, these are the things I've been able to achieve over the time. And when they ask you, what can you do? Just like in the case of David, when he was brought before the king and he was asked, what can you do? Especially when the nation of Israel at the time faced, a very big opposition, and all their warriors were so afraid on how to face the challenge that they had, military challenge. And he came before the king and he boasted in the front of the king that I have been able in my life to kill a lion that attacked my flock. I have also been able to kill a bear. And with the experience I have had, if you give me this job, I think I will deliver. That is going to be the same thing with all of us. If we keep our win log of tangible results, we can be able to face the next employer, whoever it is, and say, in the previous place or in my father's business, in my mother's business, even while I'm taking care of my younger ones. Some people will say, I don't have leadership skills, but you are the firstborn in your family. You took care of your brother, your sisters, and all those, your other younger siblings. You took care of them. Those are tangible results that you have to tell. Oh, I was able to do this for my younger brother, my younger sister, when he or she was crying. I was able to do A, B, C, D to help him resolve the conflict, the issue, and all those things. Those are tangible skills that you can leverage upon and tell it to the employer and say, though I may not have practical experience in the place of work, but then I have experience from life. I have been able to manage conflict. I have been able to manage negotiation. I have been able to show leadership skill in this, in that, in that, in that. I have done customer service and all these things. And if you present this, you realize that it will be very relatable to whatever it is you are pursuing. And if you don't keep a win log, oftentimes you don't even, when they ask you, that is when you now begin to think, oh, how does it apply? Oh, which example? Oh, no, I've not ever held a position before. I don't think it applies to me. I'm still young. I'm just getting to. No. Everyone has a story. You have won a lot of things over your life. So this is one of the things you should be able to have a record of in case you don't have it. Now, what are the actions I recommend you to do? I recommend that you should choose one critical skill and practice it daily, deliberately. Make effort to practice at least one skill. Let people know you for one thing, if not a lot of things. Be a master of one at least. When they think of this problem, the first person that should come to mind should be you, especially in your cycle of influence. Then produce one improvement that you have been able to do that demonstrate clear business value. It is not enough to just show what you can do, but something that is directly relatable to the problem of the people you want to buy your product or to buy your service. Now, looking at it in terms of research, I was able to see that research has it that sustained deliberate practice drives performance and career mobility. Sustained deliberate practice drives performance and career mobility. And that is according to Erickson and Poe, right? So please ensure that you deliberately practice to improve your capability, your ability, and all. And for me, I want to just put it out there that excellence is what opens doors, even when titles don't. Not everybody will know your title, but if you can show excellent results, doors will definitely open up to you. The second point, I'll move a bit faster now, will be act visibly. It is not enough to just be doing things. Okay, it's not enough, but it is enough. It is important to be seen to be doing what is right. Create or claim high impact moments that align with organizational priorities so leaders notice your contribution. It is not okay that you just do anything anyhow. You just wait, oh, let us do what we are told to do. No. Look for that. It doesn't come every time, but when it comes up, when challenges arise, and they're like, oh, we have a big problem, you should be able to rise up to it. Our case study, David, defeated Goliath with his defeat for Goliath was a strategic move. It was not just when he knew everybody were afraid to face the challenge the nation had at the point in time, a national need. They were living in fear for a couple of days, and he noticed that moment and he seized it. He knew that if I am able to deliver on this, I will be known. My impact will be seen. Now, this is a young man that has not been, that has not been enlisted into the army. His elder brothers, about 6 of them already, are in the army. They were more experienced. They've been trained and all that. But that young boy, at the time, according to the story, he was about 17 years old. He looked them in the face and said, I can do this. I am able to do this. And he gave his record. I have done this before. I have done that before. Give me this challenge. I can face it. How many times are you standing up to be counted when your organization is facing a challenge? There is an organizational target, for example, to hit, to increase revenue by 50%, 100% and all. And then you want to go and hide. No, 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 no. It's not me. Well, if you don't want to be seen, then nobody notices you. When it is time to let go people who are not productive, guess what? Your name probably will be one of the first on the list. But if you're always showing up and taking the difficult tasks, chances are high that any time that there is, need for someone to be promoted or someone to be given something, you will be one of the first to be mentioned. Okay, his victory, that is David's victory, was aligned perfectly with the nation's organizational goal at the point in time. It aligned perfectly. It is not enough to just pick what are the things that you must do to be seen. It's not every tax you should jump up or onto. Every tax you jump onto, yeah, don't do everything you possibly can, but know the core tax that you should focus on, that when you deliver results, it will be obvious that this is the person that did it and you'll be given your credit. What are the key behaviors you should pay attention to? Identify strategic problems that matter to your organization. Not just any problem, but strategic ones. And how do you know the strategic problems if you're not close to the strategic leaders? You need to get closer. You need to be in a space where you can be able to see what the leadership is seeing, to know what their headache are, and then find a way to proffer solution. I remember when shortly after my university days, I had a bit of delay before going for youth service. And within that period of time, I volunteered with my department, to volunteer with them just to keep busy, not to be careless with my time and all that. And then at the time, I realized in my department in school that you do not, people who graduate are not able to go for youth service until at least 6 months or more. And by the time I liaised with the leadership, that's our head of department, I realized what was the issue. One of the biggest problem was by the time results are finalized and released, then we have a departmental secretary who at the time, God bless him, was an old man, and he wasn't so used to the modern tools. Now he's been given hard copies to type it into soft copies on Excel and be able to translate this, as a final result sheet that will be submitted to the school, what do you call, the highest making decision body to approve. Then I realized these results were actually tabulated in Excel, then printed on a paper and given to the man to tabulate, and then he begins to type them back into Excel again, then before he now produce the final result, it takes him 6 months or more. So because of the inefficiency of one man, about 300 students are held captive for months. When I realized it, I had to reach out to them. I'm like, okay, I think I can solve this problem in a matter of 5 minutes. If you can just give me the soft copy where this was printed from, we could, instead of typing this all over again, we could do this, faster. And they were like, no, that's not possible. It's never been done. We only do that. At the time, they said they only do that with Access. I pleaded with them. Eventually, okay, come and try it, of course, under strong supervision. Come and try, let us see, because these are results. They don't want you to mess it around. And then in about 5 minutes, I was able to produce, the final output and submitted it to the head of department. The man looked at it and I remember him shouting, wow, you are going to teach me how you did this. That man followed me to my house, drove me in his car to my house, because I spent extra time with him, showing him, and it was late that night, he drove me to my house in his own personal car. And I was like, oh my God, this is me driving in head of department's car, taking me home as a VIP, like it was a very big need. And what happened? The set after me that year, they were able to go on for their youth service like in the next 1 month. It was a record breaker for my department at the time. So look out for that strategic problem in your organization that you can bring what you already have. For you, it is a normal thing, but for them, it is innovation. Bring it out to solve a problem. Prepare concise, result-focused action plans. What are those plans you're going to do? How do you do it? That so that they will be able to see that indeed they are convinced that what you're bringing on board can indeed solve a problem. And then frame your result as organizational win. Don't focus on you. Focus on the organization. Let's help once the organization wins, you will also win eventually. So what do? Identify one mini Goliath, that is a tough but solvable issue, and a sponsor for it. Who is going to advocate for you for this issue? If you solve it, who is the person that's going to be able to say, yes, this is the person who did it, right? Execute and communicate the results through a short stakeholder presentation. Show them, present it to them that this problem you have, I have a solution. I can do this, I can do that. If I do this, I will solve your problem and all that. According to Ibarra et al., 2010, that's the Harvard Business Review research shows that visibility and sponsorship strongly predict promotion. Skill alone is not sufficient without recognition. Okay, that is a verified research that skill alone is not sufficient without recognition. So you must be visible. You must be visible. So visibility transforms competence into recognition. It is not enough to work hard. You must be seen solving meaningful problems. Working hard is good, but make sure that you are working hard in the right quarters and that the right people can see you. Then venture resiliently. That is the V in David. Venture resiliently. For many people, there are setbacks and all those things, challenges you face, as you navigate your career and all those things. Treat these setbacks as data for smart pivots. Let them not hold you back, but let them propel you. Let them be the energy you have to move from where you are now to where you're going. Build emotional and political agility to persist and reposition strategically. It is not enough. Don't allow yourself to be, downcasted, no matter the situation. Ensure that you have the capacity to rebound, no matter the challenge you face. Our case study, David, between the time he was promised to be a king and the time he actually became king, he faced a lot of issues, from betrayals to exile. He had to run away for his life for years. He had to stay hidden. Because why? He faced strong opposition that could have cost his life. He suffered a lot of loss, yet he adapted. Okay, those years he suffered in exile were the years where he, built resilience that he needed to be a king. He faced betrayal, political hostility, personal loss, yet he forged alliances and moved forward with focus. His setbacks were not dead ends. They were detours that built his leadership depth. As professionals, you must learn to pivot. That challenge you face in your office, that political situation, it shouldn't weigh you down. I was talking to a friend yesterday that told me, some issues she encountered at place of work, and it was obvious that she got on the wrong side of politics. But I had to encourage her, see, don't let it set you back. It's just unfortunate. You learn from this and you shoot immediately. Don't relax, don't relent, don't relax. Okay, learn from this. What did I not do very well? How do I do this better next time? Go back and try again. Keep trying. Don't get discouraged. Some people feel, whoa, I face challenges. Oh, this career is not for me. I think I should change career. Oh no, this thing is not for me. I think I should even leave job completely. I should just go and resign and maybe go and settle and do a business. See, friends, no matter where you are, as a human being, you will face challenge. Even if you build your own company yourself, your customers will be a challenge. Your partners will be a challenge. Your staff members will be a challenge. Wherever you go, there will be challenge. But you must be resolved to rebuild yourself, refire, and continue moving. Be your own self-motivation. Be resilient that no matter what happens, I'm not going to fall. I will keep, moving. Now, what are the key behaviors I expect you to set up in this pillar is map stakeholders and identify power dynamics. It is important to know who are the people that have the say, who are the decision makers, who are the power tussles in this area. So map it and be very clear. Okay, develop contingency plans for key risks. What are the key risks you face? So first and foremost, it means you must identify what are the risks I face in my career, in my office, in my business, in my professionals. What are the key risks? And what are the plans I have to navigate these risks? In case this thing happens, what do I do next? In case this happens, so that you are not caught off guard. What are the things that I must do? Then control your narrative. Don't allow yourself to respond emotionally. No matter what they do, be resolved. Respond calmly. Face facts. What are the facts? What are the things that I must do to navigate from where I am to what are the issues that are going on? Oh, that people are making a lot of noise, shouting. That is not the point. What are the key facts? Identify the facts and focus on it. Strategically, align yourself to ensure that whatever you're doing, your actions are controlled. Because oftentimes people try to trigger you. And by the time you react, your reaction will be what will be used against you. So you must ensure to control the narrative. Don't play into the trap that anybody would have set for you, and become victims of circumstance. So what are the recommended actions I'm giving out? First is to create a stakeholder map and list 2 possible contingency opportunities. So who are the stakeholders where you work? Who are the people you are working with? And what are the things that you must do? If this goes wrong, who do you talk to? What do you do? And all that. So you have to be able to have that, prepared ahead of time. And then execute one contingency plan and document how you turn a challenge into progress. Okay, so when something happens, execute your plan. Make sure that you don't wait. Don't wait until it is all dawned on you before you begin to react. And then according to Mahdi and Koshaba, they identified adaptive resilience as a core skill for navigating volatility and mid-career stagnation. If you are not able to adapt, resiliently, chances are that you grow into oblivion. Okay, so we don't want that. For you to navigate your career volatility or even the stagnation you face in your career, adaptive resilience is the word. And in today's volatile work environment, resilience is the new advantage. Get resilience in all you're getting. Then the I in the David framework stands for invest in influence. Transform relationships into sustaining ethical influence, from mentors to sponsors and allies who will advocate for you. For David, his ascent was impossible without relationship. From Samuel was the prophet who anointed him to be king. Jonathan was the king, the son to the king who defended him when there was nobody. He had to enter into alliance with Jonathan. Jonathan was supposed to be the next king, as being prepared by the king. Oh, this boy wants to come and take over your throne. Jonathan was supposed to be the person to take over the throne after his father, but he was able to form this good alliance with David to the point that he protected David's life when King Saul sought to kill him. Okay, Jonathan defended David. We all need those kind of alliances. People that will defend us in boardrooms that we were not there. People that will stand up for us and protect us when we are not there. And that can only happen when we are able to build influence. His loyal followers, David was able to meet people that were basically riffraffs. Permit me to use that word. People who were nothing, okay? People who were abandoned, helpless, weak, and feeble. He was able to strategically bring them together and built them into mighty men. And these people stood with him throughout life. They stood with him, they fought for him, they gave their lives for him. His influence was relational capital built over time. What is the relational capital we have today? Building ethical influence, not just influence, but ethically. So for you to know that to build this influence means how you relate with people. And that goes long to talk about politics, okay? How you get people to accept and view things from your perspective, but you must do that ethically. Don't do it bringing other people down. Don't do it with negative, ulterior motives. It must be ethical. Building ethical influence and nurturing sponsors, mentors, and allies sustains growth when promotion stalls. There are people when everything fails and you just pick your phone and call them and like, okay, you are going through this problem. Oh, no, we are going to take you out of this. We are with you. We're going to support you out of this problem. If you don't build it at the right time, when you need that influence, when you need that support, you may not get it, right? So what are the key behaviors you should focus on? Cultivate sponsors, those that will speak for you in key rooms. Engage in mutual mentoring. Don't be a parasite. Don't think that, oh, because I don't have experience so much, I should be at the receiving end of mentoring. No. Mentor others. Everybody has something to give. Everybody has something to share. Don't just be receiving and not giving. It should go both ways. Receive mentorship and give mentorship. Our CIPM president, I heard him several times in different fora say that even at his level now, he still has mentors. And you wonder, somebody at this level of his career still has mentor. So who are you not to have mentor? So wherever you are, you need a mentor. Identify one. submit to a mentor, and more importantly, mentor others, because there is something you know that somebody needs to also know from you. Practice reciprocity. Don't just be a parasite. Don't be the one receiving. Always find yourself in position to help. Those people you help over time, they may, not always, but they may one day become the help that you need. Just like our case study, David, he helped these men that were nothing. Eventually, these men were willing to kill for him. At some point in time, it was recorded in his story that he said he wanted to drink water from a particular well. This well is in a place of the enemies, in the camp of the enemy. One of the soldiers got up and said, I would rather die than not fetch you that water from that well. He went fighting battles, killing a lot of people just to fetch water for David to drink. And when he brought the water, David said, no, I am not worthy to drink this water because you have given your life. This is for me like blood. Instead, like you could see the people he built over time, willing to go all the way just for him. Who are you building? Who are you helping? Right? In case you're not helping people, identify at least one person that you're going to build and help them become valuable in their life so that tomorrow, if you call, those people will be the ones to answer you. So what do? Identify a sponsor and secure sponsor advocacy and mentor at least one colleague. One person is okay. If you cannot do any other thing, one person is fine. Okay, research has it that not just mentorship is the decisive factor for career sponsorship, not just mentorship is a decisive factor for career acceleration and executive progression. So it is good to have mentorship, but not just mentorship. It is important to have sponsorship also. I hope you know the difference between mentorship and sponsorship. Okay, sponsors are those people that speak for you in key rooms. They may not be there with you every time, helping you solve problems, advise you and all those, which is what a mentor would do for you. But a sponsor would be the kind of people that will be like, oh no, if there is this thing that is going to happen, I think this person deserves it. And they will stand and protect your interests even without your knowing, right? Your network is not a luxury. It is a strategic asset. Hunt for it and guide it jealously. Then lastly is to design legacy. Shift from individual contributor to multiplier. Let it not just be about yourself. Document systems, delegate authority, develop successors. Don't just see life as, oh, it's just about me. What is in it for me and everything. At the end of the day, when you get to the level where you can multiply your impact, that is when you are now having legacy. Permit me to use this example. Our dear mentor, Dr. Oluyemi, has been able to replicate himself in very many of us, that we are able to stand and talk to people like a day like today. Okay, this is an initiative that he has been able to. Normally, he would be the one doing this alone. Imagine he has to do these webinars every day alone. But because he has been able to multiply his impact, people like us have the platform to come up and share on this platform. He's building us, giving us this authority, giving us the ability, developing us to the point that if tomorrow he retires from active service, he will look back and see that, yes, people like us are still holding forth. And the people that will come after us the same way. To design legacy is to build systems, develop successors, and embed excellence into culture. David's reign ended with an intentional leadership transfer. He invested in his son Solomon, who took over from him, organized temple resources. He did not just hand over the leadership. He organized resources, ensured that his son had things to work with. He institutionalized systems, things that were not there before he became king. He made sure they were there. He fought battles and won all those battles anymore. It doesn't make sense that you develop frameworks or you develop tools, and then when you're leaving, you live with the tools, and then the people that come after you have to start afresh and start developing them. Then your legacy is nothing. It is better when you have developed something that people can use even long after you're gone. And when they trace the genesis of that, they say, oh, this tool was developed by Mr. A, by Mr. B. We are using it in our organization. It helps us to solve problems. Document it, set up things, let things be set for continuity. He also transformed ordinary men into great and established soldiers whose exploits were remarkable. They were willing to live and die for him. His legacy outlived him. That should be our focus eventually for every one of us. The key behaviors we should practice here would be to document decision framework, delegate authority with accountability. It is not enough to give people authority. Oh, I authorize you, go and do this thing. But then you're not giving them the accountability that comes with it. You are delegating, some people delegate without authority. And when they delegate, some others even delegate without accountability. Hold that person accountable. This thing is your responsibility. If it works, it is for you. You take the credit. If it fails, we hold you accountable so that people will take ownership of the tasks delegated to them and deliver it well. Sponsor successors through stretch assignments. Ensure that whatever you're doing, you have people that are learning of you, people you are showing your way, people you are showing how you do things. Give them assignments to do. For example, our mentor Oluyemi giving me this platform made me to think deeper, do research and personally I'm improved on my own level. And what I'm telling you today are things that I'm convinced about and things I am practicing as a person. It is helping me to become better, right? Recommended actions. Document at least 3 key decision rules that you use, especially for people at this level. What are the things you do? How do you do them? Put them in a document. Let it be a tool. Let it be a guide for someone else. If you are not there, somebody should be able to read through this document and know, oh, if I do this and this and this, I will achieve this same result the same way this person has achieved it excellently. Let it not just be all about you. Document it. Keep it there for posterity. Launch a knowledge transfer mini program, or at least mentor a successor. Okay, don't let it not just end up on you alone. Let somebody else learn from you. Let that thing you have learned over your years of trial and error, let there be somebody that can be able to leverage on that thing and continue your legacy. Now, according to Rothwell, legacy-oriented leadership ensures continuity and preserves institutional knowledge. Now, I want to add to it that legacy thinking is the mark of great leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, having discussed the David framework, how do we map it to individual career stages where you may find yourself? Like, we know that there are people at different stages of career. So first is for early career starters, the likely ceilings or challenges you face in your career would most likely be things around lack of visibility and career direction, limited access to mentors or sponsors, and skills not yet distinctive. What you are doing is what everybody thinks everybody can do. Okay, these are some of the career limitations you may face right now if you're an early career starter. So which of the pillars that I just discussed should you focus on? First, focus on developing mastery. Ensure you master that particular skill. Do it every day. I've already told you what to do, and I gave you recommendations of things to do. So practice that, develop mastery, act visibly, and invest in influence. If you are at that level, I don't see a reason why you especially if you're in Abuja, you don't show up for HR mentorship hangouts. If you are at this career level, early career starter, you don't show up for HR hangout in Abuja. You don't show up for CIPM meetings. You don't show up for CIPM conference, and you are an HR practitioner. The road is foul. So if you must break through this career ceiling, you must ensure that people know you for something and that you show people what you can do. Volunteer. Wherever you find yourself, volunteer yourself. Oh, we are looking for people to take a course on maybe on HR mentorship platform like today. Make sure you volunteer yourself. Show up. Oh, I can do it. Let me try. Nobody will beat you even if you don't do it well. I hope I am doing well. Even if I don't do well, you are here. You will not beat me. Yes, you give me feedback. I take the feedback. I go back. I improve on it. Right? So volunteer yourself. Let people see you to see what you can do. I can tell you on one of those occasions that I've done a presentation like this, I was invited by somebody to come and do a presentation for their company. And I didn't think that was possible. In one of our hangouts, we've had people come to the hangouts and there and there, they come back to tell us, oh, it was in this hangout I met somebody that gave me a job. You never can tell. Be visible, appear, volunteer yourself. Let people know you. People know what you can do. And indeed, when you have the chance, do a good job. If you don't develop mastery, you cannot do a good job. When people even give you the opportunity, it will be a mockery and a waste of their time. So these are the things you must practice as an early career starter to break through the career ceiling. So And what are the winning strategies? I've already mentioned them. At least practice one micro skill, every day. Volunteer for a mini Goliath. Wherever you are, anywhere you find a problem, in your office, at home, in your church, in your mosque, in your community, in your association, volunteer yourself. Show them what you can do. Make impact. And there and then you will get noticed, and build relationship with at least one mentor, sponsor, and even your peers. Sure, you build relationship. Don't hide. Then if you're a mid-career professional, some of the things we see as the likely career challenges would be your growth will plateau. That is, you have reached to the point where you are not even sure, is there any other place from here? Like, I can't even go further. You are feeling like your skill, is no longer needed. You are stagnated in your career. Political challenges and limited sponsorship. You see yourself in a situation where in your office, maybe you probably get on the wrong side of politics. You have to worship the people, the powers that be, to get relevance. These are some of the challenges you see yourself facing. And then your work is seen as operational. Just the same thing, routine job. You come today, you are the same thing you do today, you do it tomorrow, you do it next tomorrow. When it comes time to use the brain, they don't involve you. These are some of the things we see mid-career professionals face. And what do you do to overcome it? Act visibly. Let the leadership know that you have something inside. When you are solving a problem, let them know. We've discussed this already. Venture resiliently. Don't let these situations, especially the political challenges, to weigh you down, and invest in influence. Make sure you cultivate sponsors who will advocate for you. People that will speak for you, people that will know what you can do. Volunteer your service for them, and when they see what you can do, they can be able to speak for you behind closed doors and say, give this person a chance. Take ownership of a strategic organizational level challenge. That challenge you are facing, take ownership, do your best, bring your skill, learn, develop yourself, make sure you solve that problem, and you'll be noticed. And then build agility. Okay, learn new skills. Don't just stay where you are. What you know that brought you this far, it is not enough to take you further. You must consistently learn, relearn, and unlearn. That has to be your way. And I'm happy you're here. That means you are actually focusing on learning and relearning. Okay? So that is what you must do to break through. And then for experienced professionals, one of the challenges we see them face is risks of obsolescence. Okay? At that point where people are at that point where they are not sure. Sooner or later, nobody notices me. I become suddenly invisible in the office. Nobody cares. Gradually, you are one of the people that they don't want to involve. Oh no, you are no longer seen as relevant in your career. Dependence on personal expertise. Okay, these are some of the issues. You feel nobody is good enough like you, so you are the only one doing everything by yourself. But at some point, your capacity can no longer carry it, because age also is taking its toll on you. Okay, fear of losing relevance after retirement. These are some of the likely ceilings we see. There may be many more. Of course, you may know them, right? So what are the things you must do? Among the David framework that I've shared is develop mastery. That means you need to refresh your skill. Go back and begin to learn what is in vogue. What are the new skills? What are the new things that is trending today in the workspace? What do I need to learn? For example, AI is the key word today. You have to go back and go and learn AI. In your time, it was pen and paper. Now it moved to computer. You did not move. Now AI is the in thing. Okay, so if you don't, go and relearn, you will eventually go into oblivion. Nobody will remember you anymore. They just forget about you. You just go away. Okay, venture resiliently. Don't allow this situation to weigh you down. Refire. Design legacy. Okay, and how do you do that? I said reskill in one key area, one new area, a technology, government, whatever it is that is coming up in your sphere of influence on your professional cycle. Go and learn. Stay adaptable and mentor across generations. Don't just mentor people that are immediately after you and all that. Make sure that the young ones, the Gen Zs, catch them young. Bring them closer to yourself. They are the ones that have a longer span in the career industry. By the time you retire, they are the ones that will invite you to give you contracts of consultancy. If they don't know you, nobody will call you to consult. So it is those that you mentor that will call you eventually. Okay, so ensure that you stay adaptable and mentor across generations. Mentor Gen Z, Gen Alpha that is coming, if you have the chance to meet them, mentor them across generations, and document systems, delegate authority, and mentor successors. Having mentioned that, how does it apply? How is it relevant to your career? Okay, how is this David framework relevant to your career? I'm going to take it across board for every career stage you may find yourself. If you can apply this, you not only win, but you become relevant and you are sustainable. Excuse me. For early career starters, build credibility through skill mastery. That will be developing mastery, and volunteer for visible projects that demonstrate initiative. Don't just go and do what everybody else is doing. What value are you bringing? What is the new thing that you are adding to what you're doing? Learn adaptable and emotional agility. Build mentorship relationships and peer networks, and start building a professional reputation rooted in integrity. It is not enough to build a reputation, but it is important to build it in integrity, because that is what will speak for you in the long run. As a mid-career professional, my advice for you to stay career relevant would be to refine your expertise to remain competitive, lead cross-functional or organizational impact projects. Don't just be among the number. Make sure you stand up to be counted when it matters most. Manage politics and organizational transitions with maturity. Don't go and break down. If they play politics on you, stand up to be counted. In fact, politics must happen in every organization. As far as more than one person is in that place, politics happens there, whether you know it or not. So if you don't play politics, you will get played. So you must learn to play, but play with integrity and play it the right way. Strengthen sponsorship and strategic alliances. Don't just come to work, do your work, and go home. No. It is not enough. Build relationship with people that matter. Identify the key stakeholders and align professionally with them. Institutionalize your best practice for continuity. Document your results. Document it. Okay? As professionals, as experienced professionals, probably people who are near retirement, revisit mastery to stay relevant in evolving fields. Model visibility by showcasing the team's collective win. Okay? Let it not be about you. Make sure that you project the team, okay? Project the team, build their confidence. Even if you are the idea behind it, let the team be seen more than you be seen, okay? Reinvent to remain valuable amid digital and generational shifts. What you know before may not be what is in vogue today. So make sure you reinvent consistently to stay relevant. Transition from influence accumulation to influence multiplication. Don't just focus on what is in it for me. How will people know me? At that stage, as an experienced person, you should be looking at how do I multiply myself in several other people, so that people will see my handwriting in the lives of all these people, and the work will continue to go, just like our mentor Oluyemi has been doing successfully. Thank you, sir. And focus on succession planning and system building. If you can apply this, you will definitely not just win, but you will remain relevant in your career. The guidelines I want to give you, the key take point or the assignments I'm giving you today, everybody, irrespective of the career stage you find yourself, will be: one, identify your current career stage. What you cannot name, you cannot be able to solve. So what is the career stage you currently are at now? Okay, so some of us already have identified our career stages and all that. So the next will be to identify the prioritize which of the David pillars you should focus on. I've already given you some of the things you should be able to focus on, depending on the career stage you find yourself. Then where the real work comes is sit down. Really, for every one of us, our career ceiling may be different. Identify your career ceiling and write it down. Let it be very clear. Read it, write it, so that you know this is the problem I have in my career. Identify it, write it clearly, and know the pillar that applies to it. So for each of these pillars that I've given you, give yourself tasks. In the next 30 to 90 days, these are the actions I must take to move from where I am now to where I want to be in terms of the problem you have been able to identify and define clearly. Okay, set yourself a target. In the next 30 to 90 days, I must do this. I must identify the key stakeholders. I must show them the value I can offer, and this and that and that. Then beyond that, please choose somebody that will be your accountability partner, somebody that will always check in with you. Oh, how are you doing? What have you achieved? And that is where your mentor comes into, play. Somebody that will guide you and make sure they hold you accountable. Have you done this? Have you done that? Don't give up. Okay, go back and do this. You failed. Oh, no problem. Do it this way. Do it that way. Make sure you get one so that you can be able to succeed and apply these tool that I've given you today to make you succeed. In summary, David's strategy will work even today. It will still work tomorrow and next tomorrow and even the years to come. Okay, so career success is not a miracle. It does not just happen from nowhere. There is a method to it. There is a procedure. There is a pattern. If you can apply this strategy, I am definitely sure that success is obvious. Each pillar of the David framework builds on the previous. Like I showed you, to remain relevant, you can see how you are able to apply from one pillar to the end. Irrespective of where you find yourself, each of these pillars is relevant for you to stay, to continue to win in your career. And you must know that excellence, visibility, resilience, and influence and legacy remain timeless. These things remain timeless. These are the summary of the David framework that I've presented to you: excellence, visibility, resilience, influence, and legacy. If you can apply these in your life at all times, there is no way you cannot win in your career journey. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a moment and reflect, okay, on what we have already discussed today. Your throne is not a destination. It is the outcome of disciplined growth. And that discipline is on you. Will you do it in the next 30 to 90 days? What is your game plan? What are you going to do? Okay. Now, to summarize for you the David framework, I said that before you need to master the craft before you can claim the crown. You need to make your wins visible and tied to business pain. That is the business problem. Make your wins visible and let it be something that is related to the pain or the challenge of your business or your organization. Turn setbacks into reroutes, not roadblocks. Let them be a detour. You see a setback, don't go there and remain. Let it guide you to see, okay, what do I do next? And beat another path from there. Relationships that vouch for you, they beat cold resumes. Don't just go and dump your resume on people. Let them know that, okay, build relationships. People will know that this is what you can do. And when they know what you can do, they will speak for you in places where you don't even imagine. Someone gave me an opportunity to go and do a training for a company. I didn't know this company. I've never met them. Okay, but because somebody who knew what I could do saw me, and when they thought we need somebody to do X, Y, they say, oh, this is the person that to do this job for you. Not once, not twice, right? So you need to show what you can do and build relationship with people that will eventually speak for you. Multiply impact by teaching and delegating. That thing you learned by trial and error, let it not die with you. Let other people learn it without trying and failing, okay? Let people learn what you know without trying and failing. So, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, David's life proved that obscurity, opposition, and opportunities are all essential ingredients of greatness. Each stage demanded a different version of him. Likewise, every career stage demands evolution from you. His story reminds us that promotion is rarely a miracle. It is a process. Breaking a career ceiling is not about waiting for luck or waiting for one high influential person to notice you somewhere. It is about consistently applying this framework I have shared with you today. Develop mastery, act visibly, venture resiliently, invest in influence, and design your own legacy. No matter where you are, whether you are starting your career, whether you are in the mid-level of your career, or you are about to step out of the career ring, this same truth applies to everyone. Your preparation in the moment that nobody knows you is what will determine your elevation in the period that you get noticed and seen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. In case we have questions, contribution, this is the time, and I welcome all questions and contributions. Thank you so very much. Doctor, over to you. I will just go through some of the comments on the chat box, hoping there are questions, but in case you have any question, please feel free to raise up your hand so we can unmute the mic for you to share your questions with us. I see a comment here from Doctor. How do you close strategic problems if you are not close, okay, to the strategic leaders? Yes, that was a rhetoric question. So you cannot close a strategic problems if you are not close to the strategic leaders. So you must, know how to, build this relationship strategically to be at the right place at the right time. How do you overcome the overwhelming feeling of knowing there is a lot to learn and don't know where to start? Well, Naza, yeah, indeed, it is overwhelming. But like I have tried to show you, you can break it down. If you can be able to identify one step after the other, where am I currently? What are the things that I'm facing now? Then what must I do to move from where I am to where I have to go? There is something I need to learn. Maybe there is a course I need to take. Maybe there is a skill I need to polish on. Where do I start? Even if they are 10, at least one. Start with one. By the time you master one, other ones will follow. Like I tell you personally, I mastered Excel significantly. And today, even to design a simple form, I want to do it on Excel. Problems I could solve with other tools. For me, Excel becomes so easy. I find it applicable through many things, even in my current position. Like I built tools with it. One of the tools I've built in my organization is currently being used in my HR department, and it is influencing management decision. So I just build it effortlessly. Once you tell me a problem, I'm already thinking, how can we solve it? And I always fall back on my area of strength, which is the Microsoft Excel, for example. There could be many other tools today that can still solve that problem. Okay. And I'm learning the new tools that are on board and all those things. But at least the one that you have learned, you use it as your springboard to move to the ones that are yet, ahead. Okay. So, okay, Stella, thank you very much. Uchenna, thank you. Thank you. I'm looking through if there are other questions. Inspiring to see a scriptural story translated into professional career theory. Thank you so very much, Mr. Oju. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions here. So I believe maybe I may have done justice to the topic. Okay, I see hands raised. Yes, E. Omon. Thank you. Please, you may unmute, please, and make your contribution. Bolanle Wamu.
All right, Mr.
Sorry, before that, Bolanle, please. I see you say you are seeking internship, like I shared earlier. Please make sure you find yourself in every HR forum, be in HR platforms on WhatsApp and all that, because that is where you probably even find opportunities that you are looking for. They are actually looking for you. Okay, so please be in HR forums, attend HR mentorship hangouts in Abuja. If you are in Abuja or wherever you are, please attend hangouts. Be in the gathering wherever HR professionals are. Make friends with HR people. You will definitely find the opportunity you are looking for in the HR world. Thank you very much. Please, Omon, you can take over from here. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Tochukwu, thank you so much for this wonderful. It sounded like an exhortation, but it's a practical one. So I just want to say thank you, and I'm glad to be part of this seminar. So one thing I just wanted to add, it's when you talk about the art visibly, something like that. So yes, from your explanation and the example you gave throughout your career, you having to jump out to solve a situation with the head of department. So I just wanted to add something to that. You can act visibly by showing yourself, showing what you can do, your potentials, how you can solve a problem. But one thing I have discovered so far in my few years of learning, of being working in that sector, is that you have to have the ability to be compelling. If there is a problem and you cannot show them how that problem can be solved, no matter how your idea, no matter even if you are confident in yourself that, okay, I can solve this problem, but you are not able to put that problem, like you say, in let them see it in a business light. Let them see how the solution you are presenting is going to solve a particular problem of the organization. They may not actually want to go for it. You understand? Like what you explained, you told them that you can do this, you understand, for the head of department in your school, that you can do this, show them that, oh, sir, if I do this and do this, you understand, this will be the result. At first, most of them may not want to go with your idea. But when you are able to show them, like you are compelling, be able to compel them to know that, okay, this is the right thing, this is the right choice. If they choose you, they're making the right decisions, so they will go for it. So it's just what I wanted to add, that in as much as we are trying to add discipline, we should also develop the skill of persuasion, and we should also be compelling. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Iomon. That's actually on point. You've nailed you've hit the nail on the head. Thank you very much. We have Usman Jalam. Please, you may want to unmute.
Okay, thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. And my name is Usman Issa Jalam. Mine is a kind of tricky, especially the big challenge that we normally used to encounter when it comes to switching of roles. A lot of people, like including we find ourselves in a particular sector. Reason is maybe that's the only available thing that we can do at the moment, but at least our mind is towards another unit which we feel is within our capacity to undergo. So I don't know if you can share a kind of a pathway. I don't want to say everything because I know you were fall victims of circumstances under that, but yours, I don't want to say is a miracle, but we just see you overnight. And I know there must have been underlying work that you took upon yourself to get to where you are here. So I don't know if in just 2 sentences or 3 sentences, if you can share as a motivation for us to continue with that moral of thinking, if I know I can fit in this sector while I am currently in sector A, how the road will be on me. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. If I understand your question very well, you are asking how someone who is navigating career transition, moving from one industry maybe to another industry, or one career path to another career path. So taking lessons from our key framework or case study would be, he transitioned various stages of career from a shepherd to a musician at some point, then to a soldier or a warrior, and then to a king, and all that. So it is possible. You can go forward and backward and all that. And in any case, all that matters is how do you apply the framework that we've discussed today to your specific situation. Now, if you're able to identify where you are, that means most likely you are no longer a starter or an early career starter. You are now at the level of a mid-career professional, but because you are moving to a new career path, you realize that one of the things you must do is to develop mastery. Okay, you need to learn skills that are relevant for that career path you want to go. And again, because people don't know you in that career path. For example, today, if I want to become a doctor, you don't know me as a doctor. You probably, if you enter a particular hospital and see me with the doctor's, what do you call that, coat, and I'm holding injection and tell you, yeah, turn around, let me inject you. I'm sure you will run for your life. Because you're like, no, I know this guy every day that he's an HR person. How did he suddenly end up in the hospital and he's the one to inject me? He's probably going to kill me. So you will not trust me. But then what do I need to do? I need to, in this moment, maybe I enroll in some classes, begin to attend some lectures and all that. Gradually, I learn the ropes. And when I am confident that I've acquired enough skill, because nobody knows me there, I need to go for the lower jobs. And that's where I begin to now act visibly, which is volunteering for certain kind of or roles that are relevant to that particular industry that I'm switching over. Okay, I begin to volunteer for them. I show up myself, I volunteer, I do things, and I let people to see that I have this skill to do these things. Then gradually, one or two person might agree to become your sponsor. That is people who are in that field already, established in that field, and they, oh yeah, this guy is upcoming, he's doing this thing very well, and we're going to give him a chance. And when that opportunity comes, you'll be surprised, they will definitely give you a chance. So you want to first and foremost venture resiliently. Don't allow where you are to hold you back. Refire, re-motivate yourself, and then go back, go and learn a new skill, then show up, let people know what you can do. Don't forget to leverage on your network. Okay, you must have built influence as a mid-career professional by now, or you're still building influence. Leverage on your networks and refire. You just, like, I will not call it lucky. Luck will definitely smile on you as far as your preparation is done well. Thank you so very much.
Let me just add this as we
Yes,
begin
sir.
to wrap up in the next 3-4 minutes. My brother, thank you, Usman, for your question. Let me just chip this in. It may be helpful either for you or for any of our colleagues. You see, sometimes too, with respect to career, we must be mobile. That's what we call mobility. Mobility may include geographic mobility. So you may, for example, be staying in Wukari in Taraba State, and then you are looking for certain opportunities. You may need to go to Jalingo. Maybe you can only find it in the state capital, or you may need to come to Abuja, or you may need to come to Lagos, or you may need to go to Ethiopia. Okay? Sometimes, some of us, may be too geographically rigid. Now, if you know you like your location that much, then you may need to recalibrate your career expectations to what that geography or that territory can support. It's like if you would like to work for maybe the United Nations, then you can't tell me that you are not going to be willing to travel, or you are not going to be flexible enough that they'll be transferring you from one country to the other or from one region to the other in the organization. So you may want to refresh your horizon, look at your territory, also look at the opportunities around you, and then make a realistic, you go for it. Thank you so much, Tochukwu.
Thank you so very much, Doctor. That was very aptly said. Even our case study, for example, had to move from the bush to the palace where the war was happening to present himself to say, I can take this. So sometimes moving from where you are to where you are needed is going to be what will give you the breakthrough you're looking for. That's very aptly said. I'm not sure there are any more questions because I'm not seeing any other hands being raised. So at this point, I would want to hand it over back to Dr. Oluyemi. Thank you so very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Tochukwu. I'd like to express my profound gratitude to you for doing this. Permit me to use this word. I'm sure some of us will understand what I mean. I could feel virtue leaving you because I got virtue transferred to me. This is not only inspiring, it's instructive, it's educative. And I think many people, if not everybody, needs to pivot. And when we say pivot, I mean move to the next level. And some of us need to experience a quantum pivot. Some of us, let me just say this, Tochukwu, a few weeks or months ago, I got to see a CV of one of our professional colleagues, a lady, and she had been an HR officer in the same organization for 9 years. No change in title, even though she told me that, they were maybe from once in 2, 3, 5 years, they will do something to the salary. And when she even told me her current salary, I almost wept. This is a lady with 4 children. Yeah, thankfully, the husband is there. You understand what I mean? So please, that kind of person, your pivot should not just be a marginal pivot. Some of us have been, I don't want to use the word cheated, and I don't want to use the word, maybe professional life may have been unfair to us. Of course, we too will have a role to play. We cooperated with all the variables and factors that treated us unfairly one way or the other. So depending on who you are, please, in 2026, please, you need to grow professionally. Whether it's going to be marginal growth or quantum growth, that's left to you. But that you will grow, not grow, is not we are not going to agree. So on your behalf, we reject career stagnation. We want you to progress. And when we talk about progress, it's not just always about more salary, more benefits, more compensation. There is a level of fulfillment, satisfaction, and joy that comes with being able to do more, being able to contribute more, and most of the time, either immediately or in the medium and long term, it also comes with more reward, more compensation, and more benefits. Tochukwu this evening has been able to share with us a strategic framework that if you look at it, you will either see either any of the 5 or all the 5 or some of the 5 that you need to apply more intentionally right now. For somebody, it may be the visibility aspect. You are already working too hard. Just a little more visibility. For some people, you are very visible, but you are not trying at all. You are relatively shallow. The substance is not evident. So either you are stepping up your competencies, your capabilities, your work ethic, your attitude, your punctuality, your contribution to meeting, or stepping up everything. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a night. What a night. What a session. Thank you so much, Tochukwu. You know how we typically end our session? We unmute and voice out, verbalize our appreciation, our gratitude to our teacher, our mentor, our facilitator, Tochukwu. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very impactful.
Thank you
Nice
so
one.
much.
I've been
Thank
very
you
very
much.
The presentation was quite spectacular and very much commendable. Well done.
Thank you.
We are
Thank you,
grateful.
Engineer.
Everybody, on behalf of Mommy David,